and welcome back to my channel. My name is Makayla, and today we are starting a 24-hour reading challenge, which I'm so excited to do. Mine might be a little bit different than you see some other people do, but I honestly think just like reading challenges are what you make them. So mine, I'm doing how many pages / books can I read in a 24-hour time period. So I'm not doing a continuous 24 hours. I value my sleep too much for that, as well as I work a full-time schedule, so I don't really have the time to do a straight 24-hour reading challenge. So anyways, so mine is, I'm gonna have a timer for 24 hours and I'm just gonna read as much as I can in that 24-hour time period, and we're gonna see how many pages and books that I can read, because I always feel like I read really fast and I get told I read really fast, but I'm curious to see, like, tracking it, how fast I actually do read. So I'm super excited to start, and the first book that I'm reading in this video is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. I started it yesterday. I'm about 60 pages in, I believe, and I'm really liking it so far. So I'm super excited to continue this book, as well as while I'm at work, I'm gonna listen to some audiobook. I haven't decided what audiobook yet, but I still count audiobooks as reading. I know some people are kind of iffy about it, but I count them as reading. So I will be reading some audiobook today at work, and that'll help me pass some of the time because I work 9-hour work days. So that is where we are at. So to start the video, I have two reading related things that aren't exactly the 24-hour reading challenge that I want to show you. So first, I reorganized my bookshelves and I recorded myself doing it, but I didn't have a video to put that clip in. So I'm going to insert that clip in here because I wanted to show it and it was fun to do and I don't want to waste that clip. So I'm going to show organizing my bookshelves, and as well, I'm also picking up a new reading chair today. So I've been wanting one of the Papasan, I think that's how you say it, chairs for a long time, but like retail, they are so expensive and I just have never like wanted to spend that much money on a chair. But I found a girl that is selling hers on Facebook Marketplace, and it's the exact color and style that I was wanting, and she's selling it for like $40, which is a really good deal for that chair, and it's like a really nice one. So I'm picking that up from her today and I'm so excited. So the reading chair that I have now is this like green one, and there is a story to this chair. So this thing is like 7 years old, and it's actually, there's a white Sherpa chair like underneath. This is just like a cover that I made. So this was my sister's old chair. She got this her freshman year of college, and she's been graduated for like 1.5 years now, and once she graduated she gave it to me. So this thing has been through it, and the Sherpa underneath one is absolutely disgusting. It's like 6 years old, and you know how Sherpa gets, like it gets all the texture of Sherpa like really freaks me out. Like I don't know yeah, anyways, so when my sister gave me this chair, it was right when I was moving into my own apartment, and I like hadn't had a non-furnished apartment before, so I just needed furniture, and it was free, so I was like, okay, I'll take it. And I found a mattress pad that someone was throwing out, and I cut it up to like fit pieces for the chair, and then I bought fabric and like sewed this cover, and it works. It's just not very pretty, and it's not comfortable at all. Like even with the like memory foam mattress pad, it's not comfortable. So I'm finally getting a new chair today, and I'm so excited. So this is officially getting retired, and I think it's time for it to retire. So I'll take you along with when I pick that up and like set it up. I'm picking it up during my lunch break, so I'll probably set it up during my lunch break as well. Okay, the bookshelves are kind of as good as they're gonna get. I made like this little TBR like basket thing where I have some of the books that are on my physical TBR for this month. And then I just kind of reorganized books based on like my liking to them and then if I've read them or not. So like my unreads are up here. These are books that I read but they weren't my favorite, so they were just kind of out of the way. Obviously more of my series and my Emily Henry stack. And then these are kind of like light covers and then all my dark covers. And yeah, that's kind of how I organized them. It's not my favorite, but I really want to get nice bookshelves whenever I graduate and like move into my post-grad apartment. So stay tuned in like a year for that. But I'm glad I got that done because that was something I've been wanting to do and it was really bothering me how messy it all was. Okay, I just got home from work. I picked up Chick-fil-A on my way home, which I'm super excited to eat. But I have two updates. So the first one is the girl that I was gonna buy the chair from, she ended up selling it to someone else, which really sucks, but that's just Facebook Marketplace. Like, you snooze, you lose. Sometimes people are able to pick it up before you, that type of stuff. So I'm sad about that, but this weekend I think I'm gonna go chair shopping to like Home Goods and Marshalls and like all those places and see if I can find like a nice accent chair that isn't like super duper duper expensive, but we'll see. The second thing is I started A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, the audiobook, during work today. So I officially started my 24-hour reading challenge and I am 4 hours and 13 minutes in, which is super exciting. I'm liking this audiobook so far. So the premise, it's a Hades and Persephone retelling, like modern day retelling. And I really like the plot line so far. I don't think I absolutely love the writing style, but I like the plot enough that I'm obviously listening to it and keep going. And yeah, a lot of the times during the audiobook I will have to like rewind throughout the day because I'm listening to it in the background while I'm working in AutoCAD doing stuff at work, and sometimes I'll be like super focused in and have to like replay it. Anyways, so yeah, I'm 4 hours in. Now I'm gonna switch to reading my Lessons in Chemistry book while I'm home, and I'm gonna read that while I eat and then continue reading afterwards. So I will keep you updated on my progress. I did doze off on the couch while reading. So I decided I'm gonna do something a little bit different because reading like my physical book right now, I'm just a little too exhausted from work and stuff. So I want to make a like tracker on my big whiteboard for the challenge because I think it'd be fun to fill it in every day. So that's what we're gonna do. This is my big whiteboard. I actually thrifted this from Goodwill. I got it for like $4 last year, and this thing is huge. I mean, it's a big whiteboard and I love it. It's my pride and joy, especially during semester. I love to like work out problems and stuff on it. But yeah, we are going to make a tracker. Okay, so I finished setting up the board and I just have like the title right here, and then for each day I'm gonna write my time read and then the breakdown of like how many pages of what book I read for that day, and then I have a total time remaining and then total pages overall that I'll keep track like through the days, because this is definitely going to take me quite a few days to finish, but I'm super excited. I love like doing fun little crafty things like this, and it's always fun to use my whiteboard. And if you can't tell from when I was writing, I'm left-handed, and writing on whiteboards is always really difficult because I have to like teach myself how to write differently, like lifting my hand off, because as a lefty, like you naturally like want to drag and it messes up on whiteboards. So that's always a fun struggle as a lefty. As a side note. Now I'm about to go take Orzo on a nightly walk and do some training with him, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to listen to the audiobook of A Touch of Darkness and continue that. It is a little while later, but an update of where we're at. We are 6 hours and 20 minutes into the 24-hour reading challenge, which I feel like I'm making pretty good progress. So I've just been listening to the audiobook while I do various things, like I took Orzo on a walk, we played fetch outside, and then I also sewed up a bunch of his toys, because Orzo likes to chew holes in his stuffed animals, but they're still perfectly good other than that hole. So I just like sew up where he chews, and it makes him last so much longer. But I haven't done it in a while, and I had this whole basket to sew, so we did that, and I'm really enjoying the audiobook. I really just love Greek mythology, and I think that's playing into why I'm liking the book so much, because honestly I'm not the biggest fan of the writing style, but I think the premise itself I really enjoy, just because, like I said, I do like Greek mythology. And I do, if you have any recommendations for more like Greek mythology type books that are set in that world, let me know, because I really do enjoy them, and I just am not very well versed in that genre, I guess you could call it. But anyways, for the rest of the night, I think I'm just gonna read Lessons in Chemistry, which this book might be on track to be one of my favorite books I've ever read. I'm really liking it so far. I am, how many pages into it am I? I am almost 100 pages in. Like I said, it's so good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I will obviously keep you updated as I read, and then at the end of the night, I will fill out the board that I made earlier, just about my total pages and total time that I've read today. But we are just gonna chill out for the rest of the night and read. So I will keep you guys updated. Good morning, everybody. It is the next day, and a little update on the challenge. I'm 6 hours and pretty much 52 minutes in, which last night I read for a little bit before bed, but I was really tired, so I ended up just falling asleep. But we are going to update the board for where I'm at after day one. So let's do that. First, I need to go and try to find a PDF of the book, of the audiobook that I'm reading, and figure out how many pages I've read from the audiobook. So that's gonna take a minute, but we're gonna do that together. So let's do it. So the breakdown from, I don't know if you can see me, the breakdown from day one, I read 6 hours, 52 minutes. Lessons in Chemistry, I read 60 pages, and I read 204 pages of Touch of Darkness. So time remaining, I have 17 hours and 8 minutes remaining in the challenge. So that's where we're starting out for today, and while I wait the last 20 minutes before I have to go to work, I'm gonna read Lessons in Chemistry. So let's do it. I thought I'd give a little update on my thoughts so far in Lessons in Chemistry. I'm 130 pages in, and last night I got to the thing that happened around page 100. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've read the book, the thing that happens around page 100, I hit that last night, and I went to bed right after it. But besides that, I am really, really loving this book so far. I just really enjoy, I think, the struggles that are in it, because it's not just a story about a character that's found so much success. You're following her struggles, and if you don't know what it's about, you're following Elizabeth Zott, who's a female scientist in the 50s and 60s, which was unheard of, because females still weren't accepted in the STEM realm, and she's trying to make a life for herself as a scientist. And I think it just resonates with me so much, because it makes me think about the position that I'm in. I'm studying engineering as a female, and if I were alive 50 years ago, I couldn't have done that. I really probably couldn't have been a female engineer, and that's so crazy to me. And there's even still that stigma around today where it's oh, you're a female in engineering, that's pretty cool, and it's still a very male-dominated field. And it's just so crazy, because you're reading about her struggles as a female in the field, and even some of the things she went through I feel are still around today, and it just hits really hard, and I'm really enjoying it. It has a lot of like deep topics and themes, and yeah, I'm enjoying the book a lot so far. I want to keep reading. The hard part is I want to read so much. However, like I work 9 hours a day, and then I come home and I have to take care of my dog. Like I have to take him on a walk, I have to play with him because he's been in his crate all day, like while I'm at work. So I want to make sure like he's getting his playtime and enrichment. So I really just don't have that much time during the day to like sit down and physically read books other than like on the weekends. So yeah, that's just my little rant. Anyways, that's my thoughts so far on this book. And now I'm going to go to work. I'm going to continue listening to the audiobook of A Touch of Darkness. I'm definitely going to finish that audiobook while I'm at work today. And I might start another one. We'll see. Or I might just start a Netflix show while I'm working. Anyways, that's it for now. I will recap with you in a little bit. I just got back from work and I have a lot of updates. So one, I finished the audiobook of A Touch of Darkness. I am giving it 4 stars. I'm going to do a little bit more of a review later because the other update, I bought a Papasan chair. I was scrounging Facebook Marketplace and someone else posted one today and they were only asking $30 for it. It was a college kid that was about to move out, so they just needed it gone. And I jumped on that and I picked it up on my way home, and we are going to put it back together because I had to take it apart to fit it in my car. And the cushion needs to be vacuumed. But other than that, it's in great condition. And like I said, I only got it for $30, which is a great deal. So we're going to put it together and put it in its little spot. Okay, so I got the chair all set up. It is so comfy. I love it. This is one of the best purchases I've made in a long time, and kind of like a slight flex is my apartment. All of my furniture is either thrifted from Facebook Marketplace, hand-me-downs, or like secondhand. Like I have not bought a single, actually my desk and one of my bookcases is brand new. That's it. The rest has been a lot of it from Facebook Marketplace or like given to me hand-me-downs from like relatives. So that's just kind of like an odd flex, and this is adding to it because I got this from Facebook Marketplace. Anyways, so a little update on the reading challenge. Like I mentioned earlier, I finished A Touch of Darkness, the audiobook, and I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm not sure if I was reading the physical book if I would have liked it as much, but the audiobook kept me hooked, and like I said, I've just been reading or listening to it while I'm at work, and it was just good, and I did thoroughly enjoy it. So I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's kind of all I really have to say. I feel like there's not much to really say about it, but a total update, I'm 8 hours and 54 minutes into the challenge, and I might at the end of today like calculate my time not including the audiobook, because I know like audiobooks are kind of cheating, and I am curious to see my time without that audiobook like factored in, to see how many like physical pages that I'm reading per like minute type thing. So I am curious to like see that, and I probably will do that later tonight. But for the moment, I'm just gonna continue reading Lessons in Chemistry. I'm really liking it, and I'm so excited to continue it. So we will keep reading. Okay, so I rearranged my like little reading area nook where I just put the chair, and I think it is so cute, so I'm gonna show you. First, I redid my lights to run along here instead of along that windowsill, and then I added that little paint by number that I had originally in my loft, and it was just in a weird place, and I think it's so cute there. And then I added my little flameless candle things, which one of them's the battery's dead, but I'm so excited to read here. final update for the night. I got to page 207 in Lessons in Chemistry, and I am 9 hours and 48 minutes into the challenge. So I'm gonna write that down on the board, and then I'll see you in the morning. I didn't film any talking clips yesterday. I pretty much just read all day after I got home from work, as well as like just hanging out because my boyfriend came into town. But I finished Lessons in Chemistry last night, and let me say, this is one of my new favorite books. I just really resonated with Elizabeth, which is the main character, and just her strength and resilience to be who she wanted to be in a time period where that wasn't very accepted. She was such a beautiful and strong female character, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it, and I loved the empowerment aspect of this book, and I feel like a lot of it even still applies today. Even as a society, yes, we're much more progressive. Obviously, like, women can be in STEM and all of that, but there is still those underlying beliefs in society, and I feel like it was just so empowering. Oops. And I really liked it. This was 5 stars for me, and yeah, enough said. This was one of my favorite books of all time now, and I loved it. Okay, so an update on the challenge. I'm 12 hours and 46 minutes in, so we were over halfway finally. But I did actually do a breakdown where I took out the audiobook and just like how much I physically read, because I was curious to see how many like pages per minute I was reading. So I did do the analysis. So the audiobook, I listened to it on 1.5 speed, so that was 7 hours and 48 minutes. So I subtracted that from my times as well as like the page count. And in total, I read about 5 hours of like physical book reading, and I've read 348 pages, and that comes about out to like 1 page per minute. So I feel like I'm on a good track, and yeah, so it's been really fun to just like do the breakdown of every day. Now for my next book, I'm still deciding on what to read. So I either want to do a reread of Beach Read, because I've been wanting to reread this because it has been one of my favorite books for a long time, and I haven't read it in like over a year. So I do kind of want to reread this, or I want to read The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand. Originally, I was thinking of bringing this with me on vacation because I'm going to the beach for a week. However, I feel like this is going to be really bulky to put in my carry-on, whereas I could just strictly bring my Kindle and read like Kindle books the whole time, because I've been like storing Kindle books for this vacation and like not reading on my Kindle for that reason. So I might start this because it is like a mystery, murder mystery, as well as like beach setting. So I think I'm going to start this today, which is super exciting. So that is a little update of where we are at, and happy reading. With a little update. I am 150 pages into The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand. So far with this book, I feel like it's been moving a little bit slower. We're kind of, if you don't know what it's about, it's the maid of honor in a wedding gets found dead the morning of the supposed wedding, and that's kind of where you start off on the book, and then you go back and you go in past timelines where you learn about like each character, as well as the present timeline with the police chief and investigators like trying to figure out who, like, what happened for the murder. So that's where I'm at. I feel like it's just going a little slow. I've also been kind of distracted when I've been reading it today, but hopefully it starts to pick up a little bit. I am getting more invested in the characters, obviously, as I learn more about them. So it is getting pretty interesting. I think it's a very unique writing style, like just the way the book is written, and I am really liking it. So I'm curious to see how this one continues to go. And then as for the time, let me turn up my brightness. I'm 15 hours and 14 minutes in, and yeah, we're making good progress. My hope was to finish this challenge this weekend, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, I got 2 new plants today and I thought I'd share because I love plants, if you don't know. So this one is a philodendron mican and it's a trailing one. I think it's so pretty. I don't know if you can tell, but it, like, the leaves are shiny and like when it hits the sun correctly, and I think it's super cute. And then I got this little guy, which is a Syngonium Pink Perfection, and it's just a tiny little guy, and I'm so excited. I love plants. If you can't tell, I have a lot around my apartment. And yeah, I picked up 2 new ones. Me and my boyfriend just love going to plant stores, and yeah, that's something we always do together, and I really love it. We both love plants. So that is the current update. I'm gonna keep reading, and yeah, we're just gonna keep going along with the 24 hours. Okay, I'm back with another update. I am 19 hours and 5 minutes into the challenge, and I just finished The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand. I actually really liked it. I feel like the writing style of this book was kind of different than anything else I've ever read, and it was super unique. And the storyline was pretty good. Like, it was kind of past and present, where there was the murder before the wedding, and they're trying to figure out like who did it, obviously, in present timeline, as well as you're learning about all the people and all the wedding guests that are like suspects and like their lives and like what led them to that day. And I thought it was pretty interesting. It is kind of long. It's like 470 pages, but I read it in less than a day. I did enjoy it. I read it super quickly, and I think overall I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I feel like the ending got wrapped up, like it was such a big build-up throughout the book, and then the ending was just super abrupt, and I felt like there was a lot of ties that didn't get put together at the end. Like, there was things that were brought up that never like got a resolution, and that kind of bothered me a little bit. But I definitely think I do want to read some of her other books. So if you have other Ellen Hildebrand book recommendations, comment them down below, because I am curious and like do want to read more of her work, because I did really enjoy the writing style. So I'm going to show you my updated board, and then we are going to start another book. Okay, so as of yesterday, end of day yesterday, I was 16 hours and 29 minutes in, so I've read like 3-ish hours or 2.5 hours today, and in total I was 993 pages in. So we are making really good progress. I only have like 5 hours left in the challenge, and I think I can finish it today because, what time is it? Let's see. It's only 1. I definitely can finish that today. I don't have really anything else that I'm planning on doing today. So yeah, we're gonna finish this challenge today. I am set on it. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at challenge-wise. I will say I didn't set myself up very well for like how many books can I read in the 24 hours, because I've been reading really long books. Like Touch of Darkness was 400 pages, Lessons in Chemistry was like 360, The Perfect Couple was 470. So I've been reading some longer books. So amount of like book-wise, I haven't been doing very good. I've only read 3 in like the total time, but page-wise, we're doing really well. So we are gonna pick our next book now. For the next book, I think I just want to do a romance, because I read 2 straight fiction books, and I have not really read a lot of just like straight fiction books, and they were good, but they also have like much more in-depth plots and everything. So I think I just want to read like kind of a fun romance that I can fly through. So I think I'm gonna do my reread of Beach Read by Emily Henry. I read this about a year ago, rated it 5 stars. It's one of my favorite books like that I've read thus far. So I do want to reread it, and yeah, I think we're gonna go with this because I know I'm gonna be able to fly through it. So this is our next book of the challenge. Hey guys, exciting stuff. It's the next day since the last time I filmed. I didn't finish the challenge yesterday, but I only have 30 minutes left, and I'm almost done with my reread of Beach Read. So we are gonna sit here, binge it, and finish out this challenge, and I'm so excited. I'm not really gonna do an in-depth review of Beach Read, 1, because it's a reread, and 2, I'm also like reading this for another video. So you can watch that video when it comes out for a more in-depth review of Beach Read. But let's get going and let's just finish this challenge. Oh, look what you've done. officially completed my 24-hour reading challenge, and it was honestly so much fun. It took me 6 days total to complete it, and like I said, I just spread out my reading throughout the days and read when I could, and I had a lot of fun doing this. So now I thought it'd be fun to do a little breakdown of how much I read, how fast I read, all of that. So starting out, I did read 4 complete books. So I read 3 physical books as well as 1 audiobook. So I read Touch of Darkness, which was the audiobook, and then I read Beach Read by Emily Henry, The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand, and Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis, which I'm super excited because these 3 were on my July TBR, so I got these knocked out, which was super good, and I'm excited that I did that. And then Touch of Darkness, I ended up just finding the audiobook on Audible, and it was free, so I decided to try it out. So now doing a further breakdown. So I did keep track on this board of like how much I read each day, how many pages. So I did 2 analyses. So one was including the audiobook time as well as pages, and then I did one where it was just the physical books that I read, because listening to an audiobook doesn't give you quite the same like knowledge of how fast you read opposed to reading a actual physical book. So in total, including the audiobook, I read a total of 1,589 pages, and breaking it down, I read about 1.1 page per minute. So I feel like that's honestly still pretty good even with the audiobook. I listened to the audiobook on 1.5 speed, so that did help speed it up a little bit, and the audiobook was 7 hours and 48 minutes of the time. Now moving on to analyze the physical books that I read and how fast I read. So in total, I read 1,189 pages of physical books, and I read them at a pace of 1.22 page per minute. So I read about a page and a quarter per minute, and I feel like it's honestly pretty good. And in general, all 4 books that I read were close to, if not over, 400 pages. So if I was reading shorter books, I might have been able to get through even more. But I did hit some hefty books that were on my TBR, as well as that audiobook did take up a big chunk of time for a singular book. But I really enjoyed it, and honestly, this challenge was just so much fun. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!